Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of my class. I'm your host, Capital C. Thank you very much, Bosler, for having me back. If you watched the show yesterday, we were kind of going over how to write a song. And we went through some tricks of the trade on how to do that. If you're just joining us for the first time, that's fine. We got through a whole verse. We learned yesterday that most songs are going to be 16 bars. For those that didn't tune in yesterday and don't know what that means, it's basically 16 sentences makes up a verse. Most rap songs are going to be 3 verses and 2 or 3 choruses, where the verses are 16 sentences each. The choruses are usually 8. And we will get into writing choruses tomorrow. But today we're going to continue on our song. Again, it's called Puppy Love. That was a little topic that I came up with on the spot yesterday. We're going to continue to write on that topic. And here's the verse. And I'm going to get real close to the camera here. If you see these numbers going down here, that's 16 sentences. That makes up the 16 bars. So bar equals 1 sentence. And again, we're just doing a quick recap. So if you saw yesterday, it's always good to hear those things over again. And if you're just tuning in now, when I refer to bars throughout today's program, you're going to understand what I'm saying if you didn't know already. We also talked about when we're writing a song on a notebook, the margins. There's one that you see on this page, and there's another one right on the flip side. So you can either just draw the line down or you can see it. And you want to keep each sentence within that line. The reason being is, yes, you can manipulate it and add more words or less words or twist it around. But if you stay within those margins 9 times out of 10, when you have the beat playing, it's going to fit into those lines. So you're not going to get off beat for those people that may struggle in keeping rhythm, or also for people that are new to it that don't understand how to ride the beat. So that's going to help you in your beginning concept, how to write. For those that are more advanced in writing, yesterday we also talked about what I call the raw V way of writing. And basically what that is you write the alphabet here. So if you don't have a rhyming dictionary, or you don't have a computer in front of you, or something like that, and you need to think of words that rhyme, and let me just use an example from yesterday. We wrote our first line, I love puppies, they are the best. To own one is my personal quest. Now we wanted another rhyme to go with best and quest, and just for the sake of the lesson, I couldn't think of anything, so what you want to do is you want to take this alphabet here, and you're just going to put words that rhyme there. So you go to R, okay, rest, quest we mentioned, pest, nest, and things like that, guest, and best, etc., etc., etc. So we have that in place there. And that's going to help us, so when a word sticks out, we have rest. So that would be our next line. So, and what we do is, after we, get a word out there, we come back to our paper. So now we're on to another bar. So I read those first 2 bars. I love puppies, they are the best. To own one is my personal quest. I won't rest. That's where we got that off, that ABC thing. Until we get one, I will love him. I'll call him my son. All right, so we went into the whole story here about a puppy. I'm about to read the whole thing in its entirety before we continue on to the next verse. Our goal here is going to just be to keep it simple one more day. I know yesterday I mentioned multiple rhyme schemes. We're going to do that on the last verse, so that's going to be a more advanced type writing. But this is just to show you the basics and just to continue off that. And we'll also, I said tomorrow we'll get into the chorus. If we have time on today's program, maybe we'll just dive into the chorus. It won't take as long to do, hopefully. A chorus, depending who you talk to, is arguably the most important part of a song, especially when it comes to rap music. Today's rap is a prime example of that. You get these real bass-heavy beats, and this repetitive chorus that's kind of catchy and kind of puts you in a trance. It's not as lyrical as it used to be. Or even in rock and roll, if you think about like the great songs or country music, and that chorus always catches your attention and gets stuck in your head. I remember one time Uncle Kracker did a song called Follow Me, and I don't even think I knew the words, but the melody was stuck in my head, so it was like, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you wanna leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. So that was stuck in my head one time. I went to bed. I'll never forget. It was like 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. And I didn't fall asleep till 3 in the morning because that melody and those words just kept going on in my head, and I was kind of hooked. So, of course, those are very, very important to the song. So we'll get a little more into that later. So let me read through the verse that we wrote yesterday, and then we're going to continue to verse 2 today. And if you're just tuning in, remember this is just a silly little fictitious song that we were working on yesterday. It's for beginners, but we're going to pick up the pace for the more advanced writers. And also, my hope is that you can see, wow, how easy it is to write a song. And there's no right or wrong time limit. We also talked about that yesterday. For some people, it might take 10, 15 minutes to write a song, especially if the inspiration's there and it's a current event or something real in your life. You might just be able to bam, 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 and write it really fast. Some other people, I mentioned my radio show yesterday. They come on, I always ask the same artists that come on to my show. I say, how do you do the writing process? And they will always say basically the same thing. Some songs I can write in 15 minutes. Other songs I'll write a verse to and I'll forget about it, and 10 years later I'll be cleaning out my desk and I'll find it and I'm like, oh, I can rewrite that. I can add to that song now. So the time length is really not important, but I'm just writing it now so we have it done for no other purpose than to educate the masses of people watching right now. And I appreciate that you are tuned in. So let's read this real quick and we'll continue on. I love puppies, they are the best. To own one is my personal quest. I won't rest until I get one. I will love him and call him my son. I'll feed him honey buns cause they are tasty. He'll love them cause they're his favorite pastry. But I know what'll really make him go nuts if I give him cookies and give him some donuts. But I don't want to come across rude, so I'll give him some healthy food. But that may change his attitude real quick if healthy food makes him sick. But I think that's just hilarious, like he. Healthy food is right for me, and it's right for him. No need to judge. My puppy loves me. This is puppy love. So that will then lead into the chorus that we haven't wrote yet, but that's okay. There's some songs that I write, I start with the chorus because I'll have something in my head or I'll get an idea. Other songs, I'll write all the verses first. Sometimes, I know yesterday I said I usually come up with a title. Sometimes I don't have a title. I'll just write a verse, and whatever my last line is, then I'll pick a word or two out of that, boom, and that becomes the name of the song, and then I'll write from there. So, but yesterday we came up with Puppy Love. So, again, we're going to stay in the margins. We're going to start by just numbering straight down, so we know where our 16 bars are. So we do that on the opposite side of the margin line because we need that in-between space to write our lyrics. There's no right or wrong way to go into the second verse. I think I'm just reading through here, maybe we can talk about some of the things that we talked about in the first verse that might make it a little easier for our writing process. So we're looking at it, and we talked a lot about food. So we could talk about food if we wanted to. If something like that stands out. If it doesn't stand out, that's fine too. Again, I put this down after yesterday's lesson, didn't even think of it at all. Another thing you could do, and we don't have the chorus here, but if we had the chorus, we could come off to the chorus and add a piece of the chorus for the next line. But I think being that we're going to write the third verse last, we'll use that technique on the third verse. So for now we have the title. So let's play off that. Okay. So let's start off with something. Puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy is so beautiful. He should be in a show. So ESPN every once in a while and some other like History Channel and Animal Planet and things like that, they always host these dog shows where people show off their dogs. So that's kind of where that line comes from. So draw from experiences that you see or observe or As I mentioned yesterday, when I was talking about if the healthy food makes you sick, I shared a story with you about how I used to always eat McDonald's. And then every time my mom cooked a home-cooked meal, like Thanksgiving or something, and I ate that, I would get sick and be like, I don't understand it. You cook me healthy food, I get sick. I eat McDonald's, Burger King, things like that, and it's like I'm immune. So that line kind of came, although it's a fictional story, it kind of came from a true story or a true experience in my life. And when you're writing, that's one of the things you want to write about. You want to write about things around you. Very much like our freestyle class that we had 2 months ago here at Basler, when I said look around and rap about stuff that's dear to you or that you see. Like when you're driving down the street, you're looking at the street signs. That's another thing you could do when you experience life, when you see things, and then you sit down into that writing process. That's a connection that you can use. So the connection that I just used here to start the second verse was imagining my dog, my puppy, being in one of those shows on ESPN or Animal Planet. So, puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy's so beautiful, he should be in a show. All right, and then we can go. Yesterday we talked about doing a half bar. And for those that didn't catch yesterday, what that means is rather than the whole sentence and ending in a rhyme that rhymes with know and show, you can do a half of sentence and then continue from there. An example, we'll just go back to yesterday. I love puppies, they are the best. That's 1 bar. To own one is my personal quest. 2 bars. I won't rest. Half a bar until I get one. So that fills up that whole bar. So I won't rest till I get one becomes the 3rd bar, but half of it rhymed with the first 2 bars. Rather than doing that, we're going to do something we didn't do yesterday. And I had mentioned you can do that half a bar after 2 rhymes, so know and show would be 2 bars, or you can do it after 4. So I think we're going to do it after 4 today on this verse because that's just another technique of writing, so we're jamming a lot in here. I encourage those, rather than keep going back to yesterday's show, those that missed it, you can go click on the video here on Basler's Facebook page and watch that because I know we spent a lot of time so far in this video looking back to yesterday, which is important, but if you did miss the show, check out those techniques and kind of get yourself caught up on to where we are leading into chorus writing and the more complex writing. So anyway, we're going to do something we didn't do yesterday, which is 4 bars that rhyme. So puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy's so beautiful, he should be in a show. He's all cleaned up and ready to go. So I'm playing off that line before, but now I have no, show, go, and I need another rhyme. So for argument's sake, I can't think off the top of my head. So we're going to go back to the raw V method, ABC all the way through Z. And we're going to write down some words. And again, I am using this little dry erase board, but you can just use a piece of paper, that's fine, something next to you. And we want to try to rhyme with know, show, and go. So I'm just going to go down. Below, dough, yo. And listen, you could take your time on this. I'm just running through it. Go, foe, no, low, row, po, mo, toe, so, slow. All right, so once you come up across a word, if you want to write a bunch of them because you want to keep writing, so we have a bunch that we wrote down there, so they're on there. I mean, you can't really see my sloppy writing, but as long as you can read your writing, when you do it, you're good to go. So puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy's so beautiful, he should be in a show. He's all cleaned up and he's ready to go. I hope he wins a prize and makes lots of dough. So he's going to get an award here, a reward, award, if he does that. So if he wins that show, he's going to win us some dough. And that's where that line comes from. So now we have 4, which we didn't do yesterday. We stopped at 2. We have 4. Now we're going to do a half bar to go into a new rhyme. Where there's a lot of words, and we have a word with that O, that ends in O, the no, the show. We could keep going if we want. You can write, it's okay to write a verse where the whole last word rhymes, the whole way down, the whole 16. You want to try to break it off though, like your 2s, your 4s, your 8s, things that are doubled up. So you wouldn't want to do 6 and then a new one for 2 and then another 6. So if you're kind of committed at some point. So you want to, and not that you can't do it, because I'm not trying to say that that you have to censor the way you write or anything like that. It's very important to have your own style. But for argument's sake, these are just general rules that you want to apply while you're writing a rap verse. Okay, so I think I'm going to try to go through to 8 bars. We're at 4 bars right now. So let's continue on here. Just give me 1 second. I want to just make sure everything was all right there. Okay. Puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy's so beautiful, he should be in a show. He's all cleaned up and ready to go. I hope he wins a prize and makes lots of dough. To get there is a long ride. It's really slow. I feel like I'll never make it there, yo. So I'm just kind of using the words that we have here, and we don't really have a lot. So, but anyway, so now we are already at 6 bars writing this verse, right? Puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy's so beautiful, he should be in a show. He's all cleaned up and ready to go. I hope he wins a prize and makes lots of dough. To get there's a long ride, it's really slow. I feel like I'll never make it there, yo. So we're at 6 bars, and I just explained to you that I don't want to start a new word at 6. So I either want to do it at 8, or I want to do it at 4, which we already passed, or at 2, which we also already passed. But I'm not liking the words that we have remaining on here. So let's add some more words that rhyme with go and no and things like that. So a go, below. All right. Joe. Low we already had. Whoa. All right, and so here we go. I feel like we'll never make it, yo. We just went over a mountain. Whoa! I lost my belly. I thought you should know. Now we look up and we're like, oh no, capital C, you already used no on your first line. So that's fine. Okay, you don't like that line, so just don't be afraid to cross it out. Just remember though, if you're crossing the whole line out like I just did, you're going to have to add an extra line at the bottom because you don't want to accidentally write 15 bars. Okay, so I just felt like we went over a mountain. Whoa! Can't wait till we get down below. So you just went over the mountain, but you want to get down below. And that actually, right there, brings us to the 8 bars that we needed, okay? Now we can get off that O rhyme scheme below. But I think we need a toe, half bar, because we broke down. And now let's bring it back to the puppy. And my puppy escaped and is running around. So now we can go back to the ABCs list here, the raw V method of writing rhymes, because let's say we can't think of any rhymes. Okay, so we have down, around, and just put some words there. Ground, pound, and as many as you want there. Take your time doing that. I just wanted to bring that up one more last time. We're probably going to skip it for the rest of the time unless we really hit a snag here on the last few bars. But anyway, I think we need a toe because we broke down. And my puppy escaped and he's running around. If he gets lost, he better be found when I put up reward posters throughout the town. All right, so you know, we've all seen it driving around somewhere. You see someone like, have you seen my cat? Have you seen my dog? And they have it on telephone poles and bicycle pole and everything, and windows and stores and things like that. So that's kind of like something that I saw, and and I put that into the song. So where are we at? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need 4 more. All right, so can't wait till we get down below, but I think we need a toe. Okay, so I skipped one. We just went over the mountain. Whoa, can't wait till we get down below, but I think we need a toe because we just broke down and my puppy escaped and he's running around. If he gets lost, he better be found when I put up a reward poster throughout the town. When I put up reward posters throughout the town. And I hope. So let's see here. We got down, around, found, town. So that's 4. So now we can go to a different rhyme scheme. I hope the pound doesn't get him in a net. You have that vision of a cartoon where the dog pound's coming. I hope the pound doesn't get him in a net, because if he's locked up, I'd be upset. He's the best friend a man can get. And we want to throw puppy love in there somewhere because it's the last bar coming up here, and we want to tie that into the chorus. So here we go. Let's go take it back to here. And I hope the pound doesn't get him in a net, because if he gets locked up, I'll be upset. He's the best friend a man can get. That's puppy love. That's puppy love. I'm so glad we met. So I used the word puppy love there. That'll tie it into the chorus. So that was pretty cool. We did a lot of cool things there. We did the half of bars that we mentioned in the first lesson. We kind of took the rhyming words at the end of each sentence, the end of each bar, and we kind of stretched them out. So rather than what we did yesterday where we just had 2 words rhyme, so 2 bars, we actually went 4 bars at some point. We did go back to the 2 bars and things like that, and that's fine, mix and match, and just try to stick to that doubling up when you do it. So 2 is, 1 plus 1 is 2, or 4, which would be double of 2. 6 doesn't fit in there because 3 and 3 wouldn't work out because 3 being an odd number. Although it becomes an even number, it's not an even bar of music, and so on and so forth. So let's read what we have here. This is verse 2. Puppy love is the greatest love I know. My puppy's so beautiful, he should be in a show. He's all cleaned up and ready to go. I hope he wins a prize and makes lots of dough. To get there is a long ride, it's really slow. I felt like we never make it there, yo. We went over a mountain, whoa, can't wait to get down below. But I think we need a tow, cause we broke down. And my puppy escaped and is running around. If he gets lost, he better be found when I put up reward posters throughout the town, and I hope the pound doesn't get him in a net, because if he gets locked up, then I'll be upset. He's the best friend a man can get. That's why it's puppy love. I'm so glad we met. And that's basically how easy it is to write a song. And again, I realize this is a silly topic, but we are now 2 verses in. Tomorrow, we will focus on writing the chorus. And I think we're just going to get right into verse 3. So day 3, we're going to, might as well do the chorus and the verse tomorrow. We will probably keep the review part of it a little less of a factor in tomorrow's show. So I do encourage you to watch day 1 because that was the most instrumental as far as writing. And tomorrow we're going to get into more complex rhymes rather than no, show, go. We'll use bigger syllable words or multiple words to rhyme with a bigger syllable word. So it'll be a little more complex. But I'm really excited. I mean, we are like a day away from having a legit song, and they call it Puppy Love, Too bad we couldn't get that sample. I don't teach the sampling class, but there was a song called And They Call It Puppy Love, and if we could sample that and get that cleared, we'd have a hit on our hands because that original song was a hit. Also, I want to jot this down before I go. My daughter, who's just turned 8, I actually haven't seen her in 3.5 months since the pandemic. She lives with her mother. We talk on the WhatsApp app, so kind of like, we FaceTime and stuff. But when she was 7, we were waiting for her school bus one day, and she wrote a song about unicorns. And as I was going through this puppy love verses that we were writing, I was kind of thinking of her first verse that she wrote. And I'm pretty sure it's not 16 bars. And I wish she was here online to rap it to you because it is really cute. I have it on my phone, so I will probably rap that tomorrow just to share it with you. But, these methods work. I mean, if a 7-year-old can write a song, anybody can. So don't get frustrated. And please, if you want to, comment below here at Basler. Like a little verse that you worked on or something you learned from this lesson, and be like, hey, is this cool? I would love nothing more. And I'm not going to be mean about it or critique. I don't even have to critique it. Let's throw that out of the way. I would love nothing more just to see what you guys are working on, because I think it is amazing. It's a great way to get stuff off your chest, especially in a time like this when we're all locked in our houses. Yes, the freestyle class that I taught a couple months ago was fun, but this is fun and therapeutic. This is a chance to get things off your chest. So thank you very much for having me, Basler. Look forward to seeing all you guys' songs and verses that you write. And like I said, we have a lot of cool things tomorrow, so please tune in to day 3. Thanks for joining us on day 2, and review day 1 if you need to. God bless.